Hello, I'm George601 and this is where food and music culture collide. This is Foodinati UK. Today on the show, we chat to Frank J, owner of Chilli Shop in Leeds, about the weird and wonderful and sometimes painful world of hot sauces. We take a trip to the Hyde Park book club to chat to club owner Adam about his vegan and vegetarian food menu and his wonderful creative musical space. Leeds-based country singer-songwriter Sheila Franklin joins us for a chat, a song and a vegetarian breakfast burrito. But first, we head to the Merrion Centre in Leeds. So here we are, we're at Frank's Chilli Shop in Leeds here at the Merrion Centre, and if you want to come to the mecca of hot sauces, this must be the oracle. Frank, pleased to see you. Welcome to Foodinati UK.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Right, so how long have you been here in the shop?
Well, I moved to Leeds about 6 years ago. So the shop's about 6.5 years.
So you've got an interesting story, I believe, about how that came about.
Most people don't ask. How the Chilli Shop started was in a skate park. So I moved to Brighton, penniless, lost everything, moved to Brighton, and with a friend built a £50,000 skate park in between the two piers on the beach. And the council, Brighton Council, loved them, banned me from selling healthy food to the kids. And so, being somebody who gets bored easy, who loves a challenge when people say no, I looked into healthy food, and there were 2,500 farms around Sussex. Not a single farmer's market in Brighton, no local foods in any shops or restaurants. And so I started, being a veggie, the very first vegetarian farmers market in Europe.
Wow.
My first stall holder was a seriously hot chilli stall who said, "Frank, you're amazing. You just do things. You just say it and then you do it. Most people just talk.
Yeah.
Could you do a chili festival?"
Brilliant.
And I went, "What's that?" And he went, "I don't know. They're in America." So we just did one. 10,000 people came in 2 days. And it grew year after year. This became a national tourist attraction. Lots of TV generated, media, but all the tiny producers that made all the incredible eclectic foods with unusual daring, rude labels and unusual flavours and super hot, they kept going bust. And so I thought, how do I keep them going? And I did a regeneration project in Brighton Marina where I started the first chili festival, and I filled up all the empty shops as a project and brought in different festivals and markets, including the chili festival.
Wow.
And I had one shop left over. I thought, what do I do with this shop? And I thought, good, I own the chili festival. Gonna do a chili shop.
Has chili been always a ubiquitous in your life? Have you always liked your food hot? I mean, can you remember the first time you experienced hot food?
I used to be terrified of it. I'm quarter Italian. My mum was half Italian and grandmother was from Bologna and a farm, so very foodie, hence the dark bit.
Yeah.
My granddad was banqueting chief of the Savoy Hotel, and he was called Frank as well. So from the earliest age, he would give me world foods. I would try unusual things. And I think it was my very first holiday to Tobago, and I had the street food, blew my head off. Wow, don't want more.
Absolutely.
And I fell in love with hot food.
There is that thing of the feeling from the capsaicin that is actually addictive. It makes you keep coming back for more. Certainly true of my case, because I'm a regular shopper here. So what I want to know, you stood right by this big display of hot ones. How did this come about?
Well, when you start a shop that nobody's done before, and you've never worked in a shop, you make it up, okay? And then as I moved to Leeds, we are not accepted here. You know, we are this oddity on the high street. You try and think of a shop that hasn't been done before.
Absolutely.
And then make it work, right? That's really difficult. Branding agencies will pay millions for that and it still doesn't work. And so we got this little eclectic shop that grew and grew. And on YouTube, one of my team said, "Have you seen this season 1 show called Hot Ones?" I said, "No." So I started watching it. I thought, wow, it's really funny. They got celebrities, but the stars were the sauces.
Absolutely.
And there was one sauce at number 8 that just kept killing the celebs. And so as a chili shop owner, I thought, right, I'm going to collect as many of these sauces as I can. Then I realised they were almost impossible to get. I had 3 from the show, 3. So I was on a mission to get 10. Then I was on a mission to get 10 in order. Then during lockdown I was on a mission to get the biggest collection in Europe, and we put it in line-up order with every season, line-up and Scoville heat. So when you come in, you recognise the show, you know exactly what you're buying, you get a Hot Ones collector's card, and then we love the show so much that we've offered the experience to the public. So we now do Hot Ones challenges once a month, so our public, our customers, our friends get to do the show, be a celebrity, suffer and get to the final one.
And I gather you're one of the only places you can find the Apollo Last Dab.
Well, we don't sell it because we're not allowed to. The rules of the show is we love the show, but it's on YouTube. They're like me. They started with no money. They started in, we know, and you know, it's like you have to be creative with no money.
Absolutely.
Never borrowed. That's why I survived lockdown.
Yeah.
And so the show, when they started out, season 1, 2, and 3, they made no money. The sauce makers did. So obviously they needed to own their own sauces. And they owned number 1 and the middle one and number 10. And of course, my customers, once Gordon Ramsay was on the show, it broke the UK market. So first question people ask is, do you have Last Dab? Do you have Los Calientes? And I'm not a person, as you now know, that likes no.
Yeah.
So instead of saying no, is you can either do the loyalty card, and every time we come in, we go up on your stamps, and when you get to number 10, you can try the Last Dab, which is an interesting loyalty scheme. Or come and do the show. So we take over a restaurant once a month, and our customers get to do the whole experience, 1 to 10, with interviews for the night, and they're literally friends for life after that.
I understand you're doing functions and things as well with that, you know, like stag do's, hen do's, things like that. It's actually a pretty genius idea, I think, because it kind of breaks the ice with people, doesn't it? The whole hot sauce challenge.
It does. I think the shop isn't a shop. People first glance think it's a shop. It's an experience.
Absolutely.
And so what I can offer is an experience as a corporate party, a birthday party, a stag do, a hen night.
Awesome.
You know, I'd love to offer to anyone. Like if you love the show, you love hot sauces, this is one of the best nights of your life. You feel exhilarated and euphoric when you achieve it at the end, and you're literally so happy in agony. It's really funny, and it's one of the best moments of your life, and you'll always remember it.
Well, yeah, it's certainly memorable. Some of the sauces you have are certainly memorable. Now that speaks very nicely into my next question. You're right round the corner from Leeds Arena. Have you had any weird and wonderful and surprising shop customers?
Well, the funny thing is I'm not very good at celebrities, so the amount of times someone said, did you know that was Florence and the Machines? Did you know that was Busted? Did you know that was... So we get them in, yeah, we get lots of bands in, and most of the time they're just a human being to me.
Yeah.
But I love the raw up and coming bands, that's what I love the best. They play at the Key Club next door. In my toilet, I can hear them warming up. And I say to the band, when they come in, I can tell a band, this is what a band does. A band comes in and they've got a bond. They've got a bond like no other.
Absolutely.
Stronger than family.
Absolutely.
And I say, you know, are you playing tonight? And they say, oh yeah, we're just small, we're playing at O2 or the Key Club. I said, what are you called? And they tell me a name. I said, come back before you play. There'll be a hot sauce free with your band on the front, or with your latest single, or your logo, whatever. And I give it to a friend. And it's a keepsake for Leeds. They will remember Leeds, you know. And it's amazing. So yeah, we meet. We had Big Zoo in recently.
Oh wow!
Great guy.
Yeah.
He didn't know that we sold his sauce.
Right.
So Big Zoo, just before he won the BAFTAs, comes in. Wonderful guy. If you ever watch him, right, really up and coming. He's like that in real life. Humble, come from the right route, South London. You know, like
absolutely.
So real guy. But he came in, gave me a hug. Asked permission to film, which he did. We told him we actually are the only shop that sells his sauce, which we're very proud of.
Wow.
He actually bought his own sauce, which is hilarious.
That's great.
And then I think he gave it to Paul Sinner, who is interviewing afterwards. But he knew Sean from the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he said, oh my God, you've got hot ones. And it's such an exciting surprise for people. And I said, yeah, I love the show and we do the show. He says, I know, Sean. Gets his phone out, FaceTime Sean in the shop.
Wow.
So suddenly Sean is messaging me, putting us the video up on his own Instagram, on the shows. And suddenly Leeds and UK is on the map of the chili world. It makes me very proud.
Awesome. I can't honestly think of a shop like it that I've seen anyway. I've seen places that sell hot sauces, but not dedicated hot sauce shops. You know, I'm sure they exist, but this place is the absolute mecca for me.
It's very niche, isn't it?
It's brilliant. Now, as a customer of yours, obviously I come in to see you quite often, and I say, like, what are the weird and wonderful new flavours? What's the great, you know, new taste that I've got to be checking out for my cooking? Now, I'd like to do a little taste test and see what you got this week.
Sure, okay.
Right, so I've asked Frank to show me some of the weird and wonderful items he has on display in this shop, and he's told me he's got the best taste in the world. What's that all about, Frank?
I really have. My customers nicknamed this the best taste in the world. This is the most addictive thing I've ever found. It's caramelised garlic in hot olive oil, and it outsells everything in the shop by 10 to 1. Every band buys it, takes it on tour. Strictly Come Dancing won't tour without it. This is the most addictive thing and the best thing ever to go in your mouth. Are you willing to give it a go?
Absolutely, let's go for this. I gather it's quite potent, so you don't need a lot.
Well, we have Greg's next door, and I will see people standing outside, not even attending coming in my shop, and I will put that amount of caramelised garlic on their vegan sausage rolls or whatever they have, and within 20 minutes they come back to my shop saying, "What have you done to my sausage roll?"
Oh, wow.
So the olive oil will release the heat into your mouth in slow motion.
You know, you're not far off. It is pretty much the best taste in the world to me. It's got a smokiness. You definitely get that black garlic poking through, and the chili's there, but the oil keeps that afterburn, and it keeps that taste in your mouth. Fantastic.
One of the things I'm really proud of in the shop is supporting small local producers. Right, any local producer that's thinking about starting out will come in my shop, and I will say to them, "You're definitely guaranteed to be on my shelves." And it's like, "Wow, really?" And I went, "Yeah, I want you to go to other delis and shops saying, I'm in the chili shop, and I want to support them." And then also support them on what sells and what doesn't sell, and the labelling and the packaging, and support their branding and marketing. And this is my favourite story. Just before lockdown, this sweet, shy lady called Yo-Yo came in with her partner. She's from Laos and he lives in Halifax. And she says, "I'm thinking about making my own sauce." And she spoke about the recipe: fresh ginger, coconut sugar, garlic and chilli, and fish oil. And I said, "Take the fish oil out, because half my customers are vegan or vegetarian, and I'm veggie, and it will lose half your market. It doesn't need it. Put it in a bigger bottle. Be more confident. You know, start confident." Anyway, she created this sauce. We were the first to sell it, and about 3 months ago, she entered it, probably reluctantly, into the National Chili Awards, and she was looking online to see how she did on her category. If she came third, she won her category, and she won Best Overall Sauce in the UK.
Wow, that's a good story. Let's check the sauce now.
This is wow, basically.
Right, you can see that ginger straight off the bat.
Fresh ginger.
Right. Like a really fruity taste to it. You're getting that ginger kick. That's definitely taking that chili and like riding it home. It's fantastic. It's worked really well with chicken. It would really work well with, you could actually even put it in sweet dishes. This is fantastic, great stuff.
I'm really proud of them. And the last thing I want to try, obviously it's a chili shop. We will never kill you unless you ask us to. Okay?
And I have asked.
Yeah, he has asked.
I have asked.
And the idea, I am a foodie first, and a lot of chili shops around the world will delight in shocking you and hurting you and having you leave with, "Oh my God, I was on fire." I'm different. You ever seen Harry Potter with the magic wand shop, Ollivanders? My job is within 17 seconds to have a conversation and match a flavour to your taste.
Right.
Right, and it's a lovely
And
game.
you've done it.
We do it quite a lot.
You do it for me on the regular.
And once I get to know you, I'll know where you're pitched. Now, this is more you. This is Northern Beacon. Now, in Sheffield, Alex grows all his own chilies, got his own smokery, and he combined 12 super hot, world record and rare chilies in one bottle, 12. And he used sweet potato as a thickening agent.
That's a healthy dab.
Sweet potato as a thickening agent instead of xanthium gum.
Righty-ho, so that's got 12.
And what the sweet potato will do will form an orderly queue of chilies on your tongue, and they will kick you in turn, one after another.
So I'm going to get my ass kicked by 12 different chilies. Okay, let's go. That's a lot of that. Immediately, oh, there goes number one. Wow, it's sort of, that sweet potato, that sort of buffers it slightly,
Yes.
and then there comes there's two, and three. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's not unpleasant, it is hot. And it heats up. It heats up quite a bit actually. That's going to live with me for a little while, that. I see what you mean with lining up.
Yeah.
It certainly is.
We think this is the best super hot sauce, flavour-wise, ever made.
Yeah, unlike other hot sauces like the bomb, it's actually really tasty.
Yeah. And that's really
tasty.
important to us.
Yeah. I can't go for a second take on that.
I'm really proud of you. That normally ends an interview very well.
And absolutely, that's where we're going to end this interview today. Frank, thank you very much for coming on Foodinati UK.
Absolute pleasure, and I love being here. Thank you.
Cut it there. Now we take a trip just out of town and past Leeds University. Hi everybody, I'm here at the Hyde Park Book Club and I'm here with Adam and we're going to have a little chat about this wonderful creative space, the food they have and everything that's going on around here. Adam, pleased to meet you. How are you doing? You're right. Not so bad, not so bad. So how long has the Hyde Park Book Club been around?
You asked me now, I think 6 years.
6 years now.
Come on, so.
And it's the feeling I get from the place is a creative space in many ways, you know, and it's a good protocol for the students, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a good mix of both, really,
Yeah, but always the intention.
Yeah, I think when we started, it was kind of first for students, and then we realised it was a different trade and stuff like that. So, but we've always wanted to reach out to the local community as well, so sort of target that as well as the students. Naturally, where we are, like we're going to get the students in, so a little bit more effort to try and get the link in with the local communities.
Yeah, it seems to me it's a nice place. It's a nice space for people to think, you know, where they can bring in their laptops, get a nice bite to eat, you know. So going on to bite to eat, you're a vegan venue, vegan vegetarian. So and you got a new menu coming out, I believe.
Yeah, coming shortly. Yeah, it's, next couple of weeks.
And what can we expect?
So up to this point, we've done a lot with meat replacements. So we were the first people in the city to import things like vegetarian butcher from Holland by bulk, and then we distribute that out to people around the city. And then as new brands have come up through the meat replacements, we've got them on the menu. We've used them quite a lot.
Excellent.
Now we've sort of slowly started to see, while these things are more widely available, we start to move back towards just cooking vegetables as opposed to the meat replacements. So the new menu is going to be using sort of vegetables in a more interesting way instead of sort of kind of going try to steer a bit away from the sort of vegan junk food idea that's been quite popular the past 5 years.
Absolutely.
So we're going back to rather than like a Reuben sandwich that has like meat replacement bacon on it. Now we're using sort of really nice grilled broccoli. Yeah. But it just makes a huge amount of difference.
Loads of beef, cauliflower, all of those things. You can make burger type things out of cauliflower.
Oh, exactly.
Beetroot's another great one.
Absolutely.
Why do you think we're seeing such a high popularity with veganism at the moment? Why do you? Because it seems to be bigger than ever now.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think obviously there's a health conscious people in the world. There's obviously environmental, animal rights, things like that. People are just sort of slowly moving away from meat. Even people, not everyone that works here is a vegetarian or vegan. People that sort of more they cut down their meat intake quite a lot. So they do their bit. So we're not super militant. We sort of invite everyone in, and we find there's a lot of people coming that aren't exclusively vegetarians. They still like to come in and try the food and stuff like that.
Brilliant. Speaking of the venue that puts on music and has food in, the ethos of our show is places where these two cultures clash.
Yeah.
And this is an excellent example of somewhere that does that. Do you see the similarities in the disciplines with music and food? Like, for instance, the music producer and the chef.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can see that. It's a creative process. Yeah, you're going to take a different element and bring it together for one outcome, one product. So yeah, I can absolutely see that. Yeah.
Excellent. And with that in mind, the question I'm asking all my guests is, what do you think is the best soundtrack to come to?
Best soundtrack.
Best soundtrack.
Just like any music or.
Yeah. Well, what would you would think was their best vibe, best tempo?
Okay.
I had someone who said golden era hip hop was pretty great.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's a lot of hip hop cooking stuff going on at the moment, a lot of hip hop chef channels and things like that. Personally, I like sort of pretty electronic music.
Pretty electronic music.
Yeah, that'll be good.
Get them with you cooking.
Yeah, when it gets busy though, you might hear some sort of heavy grindcore or drum and bass coming out of the kitchen a little bit. Just to get everyone fighting. But generally something nice, low tempo.
Low tempo.
Quite chilled, yeah.
Awesome.
Keep you calm.
Right, Adam. Thanks for joining me. And there you go. If you're in the Leeds area, Hyde Park Book Club. Lovely space.
And now for today's musical guest, Sheila Franklin. And you're back with us at Foodinati UK, and we're downstairs at the Hyde Park Book Club. This is their lovely stage that they do all their gigs on. I'm joined by Shayler Franklin here from Shayler Franklin and the Ramblers. How you doing, Shayler?
I'm doing good.
Welcome to Foodinati. Right, we had you play at my girlfriend's night the other night, didn't we?
I did, yeah.
At the Primrose in Leeds. Fantastic gig. We'll be putting in some shots of that in a bit. And you're going to perform a song for us today as well.
Absolutely.
He's double duty, man. It's all over it. So, do you know this place very well?
Yeah, I started uni here about a year ago, and this is one of the first places where people are getting gigs and things like that. I've never played here, but a lot of friends of mine have, and I've been out a few times on stage and things like that. So it's a nice venue.
Yeah, it's a vibey place, isn't it? It's a very creative space. Yes, so how are you describing your music?
It changes week to week. The easiest thing is probably country.
It is very country, isn't it?
Yeah, but it generally leans more into sort of folk western stuff, really.
Yeah.
Not quite Dylan-esque, but still those sorts of old cowboy songs and folk songs and stuff like that.
There's a lot of roots in there, isn't there? There's a lot of that. So with this being a food show, I've got to ask, what's your go-to food? What do you like to eat?
Well, not too much that's healthy for me at the very least. Well, a lot of the times we're doing gigs and things like that, find myself going to the nearest kebab house, something like that.
No, can't be a good kebab. Can't support your local kebabbery. Right, so what's the song you're going to be performing for us today?
It's a song I wrote a few years ago called Clientele.
Wonderful. PG.
Work at night to pay the bills, employed by family funds. Pocket money pays my wage and plays a part in all your fun. I'm a local man, bookkeeper, debt collector, and the one who they come to seeking parties or some freedom on the run. I met husbands who keeping company with the women who ain't their wives. I have trained my gun on boys who thought they'd take me with a knife. And I sold to a state where the women whose endeavors steered the night towards the subsequent release between two people who live on white. I see children in their cars as they pull up to pay my wage. I see empty looking faces speaking softly to their graves. Prisons open arms just as the graveyards whisper names, and their world will end in tragedy, though I am not to blame.